we asked Mikel Arteta whether this adds more pressure onto his side.
The bookies have you outright favourites, Mikel, to win the Premier League title. Gary Neville says it's yours to win. I'll make that differential. It's not yours to lose, it's yours to win, is what he said. Are you aware of the noise? Do you embrace the noise? Do you ignore the noise?
But that's what we want. I think when our people are excited and when they see that the team is competing at the level consistently, there are the right reasons to believe, and that's the main thing. If you want to win big trophies, you certainly have to install that feeling amongst the team, the club, and around it. And we're in a really good position at the moment, but we know how early it is and how difficult every game is.
It feels like Mikel Arteta is saying the right things at the moment. Do you feel like there's a change? Even the last few weeks, it feels like he's sending out more positive messages to previous years, to more recent years.
Yeah, and rightly so, he should do. You know, I remember last season when Chelsea were flying and the manager come out and said, oh, not yet, this is not our time. And then all of a sudden it went a bit wrong. Players sort of then have the pressure taken off, think, well, the manager's telling us we're not going to win it. I love that. He needs to come out and say that. Yeah, fans believe. Yeah, we're the real deal. Yeah. We're the real deal. And they are the real deal. They've got an unbelievable squad they've got together. And at the moment, it looks impossible for them to lose. And I say that because
they're so hard to beat, aren't they?
They don't even have a shot against them.
Yeah.
That's the problem. They don't even have a shot against them. They need one goal to win a football match. It's not a lot to ask.
Yeah, it feels like they've become this team that is just so sort of hard to snuff out kind of thing and to get past. Wayne Rooney has spoken on his podcast this week saying that if Arsenal don't win the title this season, Mikel Arteta could be shown the door. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't.
If they don't win something?
It all depends how it happens, doesn't it? I mean, if they go and get 90-odd points and then they get pipped and they got 90 points and then you go, well, what can you do, really? You know, Champions League, you might get in the final or the semi-final, goalkeeper comes out, someone goes round him, ref gives a sending off. There's ways of losing. There's ways of losing titles and ways of losing games. People forget, 5 years ago, Arsenal were just also runs. They were also runs. They turned up at the start of the season, had no chance of winning the league, and they had to sweat on getting in the top four to get Champions League, and they had to sweat on that. They are massive players in the Premier League, and that's because of Mikel Arteta, what he's done there. He's got a team together, and he's worked with whoever's come in as a sporting director, and they built a team very quietly. They've got 2 players in every position. I don't believe that. I think if they don't win it this season, I don't think that will be the case. Oh, it's the manager. You know, you'd have to look at the players as well then for me. So, yeah, let's wait and see. I don't see them not winning the Premier League.
No, I was going to say, you believe they're going to win anyway. Let's actually bring in the man who was asking Mikel Arteta the questions today. Dharmesh Sheth, good to see you. Obviously a great weekend for Arteta because of their result, but also other results around them. But any injury concerns for the Arsenal boss this week?
Yeah, it was a good weekend, wasn't it? 4 points clear, as you guys were mentioning just then. And aside of the longer-term injuries that Arsenal have got just now to the likes of Gabriel Jesus, Kai Havertz, the captain Martin Odegaard and Noni Madueke, there were a few other issues following that Crystal Palace game. And Mikel Arteta told us today that William Saliba and Gabriel Martinelli will both be out of this Carabao Cup tie against Brighton tomorrow night. He wouldn't give a timescale on when they'd be back, only just to say that they are being assessed. But on the positive side, Ricardo Calafiori, who was substituted in that game, he will be fine for tomorrow. Bukayo Saka went into that game with illness and was replaced in the second half. He will be fine, as will Declan Rice as well, who was substituted in that game. And of course, Declan Rice was instrumental, as he always seems to be, in some of Arsenal's goals this season. The one that Eberechi Eze scored, it was, of course, another set piece. They've scored 16 Premier League goals this season of Arsenal. 11 of them have come from set pieces. Now, some pundits and some rival fans, you'd have to say as well, have kind of turned their noses up at the amount of goals that haven't come from open play. But yet you're finding some of these teams trying to emulate Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. So I put it to Mikel Arteta whether imitation is indeed the sincerest form of flattery. This was his response.
a lot of things that we do in many other aspects. I'm sure teams will pick them. We do the same with other teams. The best teams in Europe doing certain things. If we can gather information and then adapt it to your own team, if you find that this could help and be a way to win more football matches, more than welcome. That's the history of the human being.
Yeah, positive signs there for Arsenal. They're on a fantastic run at the moment, aren't they? Following that defeat to Liverpool at Anfield, it feels like such a long time ago. But I just want to put that to Paul Merson, actually, if I can, Emma. Just on this whole set-piece debate, there's been so much noise surrounding Arsenal and these set pieces. I'm just wondering whether Merce thinks there's been too much noise or whether there is a kind of a concern that there's maybe an over-reliance on set pieces for Arsenal so far this season.
Hi, Dharma Chef. No, I don't get it, really. I mean, they're scoring a lot of set pieces, but every game they've played in this season, even at Liverpool, I might be wrong with the Liverpool game, they've dominated possession. It's not like they're playing with 33, 35% possession week in, week out, and they're nicking a goal from set plays. They're dominating the game. The problem is, and why they are not probably breaking teams down as much, is everybody's sitting 10 behind the ball against Arsenal. So if they can't break them down, they've always got that set piece in the armoury. So long it continue, you know, I think if they needed a set play to win them a football match, but they are dominating games. I ain't seen anybody give Arsenal the run around this season yet, and they are dominant. And the reason is teams are sitting 10 behind the ball, and that's why they haven't scored a lot of goals in open play yet.
There you go, Dharmesh Chef. Thank you for joining us.
Take that, Dharmesh.
It's funny, isn't it? Because I was listening to the radio yesterday on my way into work, and the presenter on there was saying, once I see Arsenal go up, I just turn the game off now. Are they better to watch than people are giving them sort of credit for at the moment?
It depends what you're turning the telly on to watch. Do you know what I mean? If you're turning it on and you're a neutral and you want to see an action game like everybody last season, even me, I wanted to watch Tottenham play last season because I knew it was going to be action. I knew it was end to end. Tottenham were going to have a go. They were going to let in goals, but they'll score goals. If you're a neutral and you're turning on the telly, you don't really want to watch Arsenal because you know as soon as it goes 1-0, the game's over. I watched Atletico Madrid. Literally, when they went 1-0 down last week in the Champions League, literally you could see him just go, game over. And it was exactly the same when I played, I think it was 1991 season where the 1-0 from the Arsenal come. As soon as we scored and celebrated, we were walking back and you see the faces of the other team. They knew they were beaten. They knew, well, we can't win now. That's it. We're either draw or the worst way out. And that is what it's like. And Arsenal are relentless. They are, I said it before, they are a machine, an oiled machine with unbelievable individual players in that team as well, which makes it a terrible cocktail for everybody else. It
feels like Gabriel is kind of emerging as one of those real standout characters. Of course, we've been talking about him and that partnership with Saliba for the last couple of years, last couple of seasons. But, I mean, yes, he's such a leader. He's providing on the goals front as well. Is he their best player right now? Is he one of the standout players in the Premier League right now?
Yeah, I think he's outstanding. I think as a centre-half, you're asked to make sure that you get the better of the centre-forward you're playing against. And every single game this season, him and Saliba have got the better of whoever they played against. So you've got to tick the box. Then he goes up for set plays. A lot of defenders go up for set plays and they jog up because the manager tells them to go up. And they've got no intentions of getting their head on it. There's loads of players that... Harry Maguire goes up, wants to score a goal. But there's a lot of defenders you can go through in the league and you can go, he hasn't scored for like 5 years, but he's been up for like 300 corners. He goes up to score a goal. And I think that's another thing. Yeah, would he be the best player in the league? In his position, he would be, 100%. And I'm talking, Van Dijk plays in that position and for me, he's a Rolls Royce. But at the moment, you would say he's number one.
Obviously, we've heard from Mikel Arteta today and we've heard from a number of managers whose teams are in action tomorrow night in the Carabao Cup. No news conference for Liverpool this week, though. Of course, it is your choice whether you want to speak to the media or not, but can you read anything into that? There will be people, no doubt, who will be. Yeah,
I didn't know that was the case. I think the manager needs to work on the team. He's probably fed up.
More time on the training ground.
Yeah, keep on answering the same questions. You know, he seems like one of their managers who can't do anything. What's happened? It's gone now. It's passed. They've lost them games. Move on to the next game. The next game's their biggest game, you know. But I've said it and I'll keep on saying it. I don't know when he's going to know his best team. And that's a worry. You know, if we sat down now, me and you wrote down Arsenal's team for next weekend at Burnley, we might be one out. We could write down the Liverpool team. We could be five players out, 4 players out. And that's no good. So you can imagine where the manager's coming from.